This kind of feels awkward now. Well, you see, what had happened was, isn't that the way all things start? Like, see, what had happened was, and you already know, like, this is gonna be a long story, or that's a flat out lie, or just like, no, girl, no. But really, what had happened was, life is stressful. I can't. I made promises that I couldn't keep, and I apologize since I sincerely apologize for doing that. But I honestly did think at the time that I was going to keep this up. It's been a long while. A lot has happened. A lot is different. Again, we can make separate videos for those differences. But right now, we got one topic and one topic in mind. I'm assuming it's the title, of which I do not know as of yet. But, backstory. I work in customer service, as do most people. Hand claps to all of you who deal with customer service on a day-to-day basis. I cannot do it. I mean, like, I can, and I'm nice, but, you know, those really rude people that are just, like, asking for a little... I kind of just, like, mentally shut down. It's like, I'm up here all day, and then I get those people, and then just, it shrinks. But somehow I still, like, manage without jumping over the counter and, like, strangling people. I don't know how I do it. The universe probably, I don't know, meditation, something helps me. I don't know. But, at my job, I look pretty much like this on most days, because this is the makeup that I did before I had to go to work in a couple hours. So this, for the most part, is what I look. Sometimes, a lot of times, I'll do a nude lip, and that's just like my everyday glam look. But a couple of times I'll wear dark lipstick, and sometimes I come into work from being from somewhere else, so I'll be in my normal clothes, or like vice versa. At the end of my shift, I'll leave and I'll be in my normal clothes. Excuse me. So I get a lot of people who comment on my style, and they're like, "Oh, are you gothic?" Now I don't know the proper answer to this question, because when I think gothic, I think of architectural structures, and I'm like, I'm not a building, but I am goth, so yeah. But I can never leave out the fact that gothic is an architectural style, and then people just look at me like, nobody asked you, you know what I meant. Why didn't you just go along with it? Like, no, I'm not going to entertain you in your stupidity. Like, no, thank you. But another thing that ticks me off is when... Okay, well, first. I accept that we have labels. I accept that everyone exists in a world of labels. Maybe you don't. Maybe you say you don't. Whatever, you know, opinions and all that jazz. But I'm okay with being labeled. I label myself as goth. So this is going to be the example of which I use. If you use another label, go ahead and insert that here. So I label as goth, and once you find someone else who is in that label with you, you're thinking like, ah, this is a safe place, and then you guys can like micro down and chip away at the bricks that is the goth temple, you know? So when I find another person that identifies as goth and they start talking about their styles, or we start talking about our styles and how they're a mix of this and a mix of that, and because that's what I get. I don't really get too many people that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm steampunk, and I'm just like, oh, cool. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If you're like, oh yeah, my style is gothic Lolita, that's great. It's perfect. You found a style that you can fit right into without having to overcomplicate things. I'm like, I'm a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I'm grabbing some stuff over here and a little pinch of that, and bam, spooky potion. So like it's great when you can find just one thing that just sums up the whole thing, one little Google search type, and you got it. Like, but me and a lot of people that I hear are just like, oh yeah, um, kind of like rockabilly meets new goth, and then like a whole bunch of other things get factored in, and I love hearing that because it's like that's my shit. That's what I like. That's what I do. So when I hear somebody who's like, "Oh, what's your style?" and then they tell you, and they go through this extensive list of things, and then the person standing there listening, like, yeah, really fascinating, and they just like detower the wall that is their, brand. And then you're like, then the person's just like, I always saw you more of a insert one subgenre here. And then I'm just like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? Like, I just built a nice sandcastle for you, and you're gonna take your demolition ball of whatever brand and just like knock down my freaking tower? How rude are you? I don't know, some people might be thinking like, she's too much. It's too much, Amber. You're over exaggerating. I'm sorry, but like, I feel like it takes a long time for you to find your style, and when it's customized to you, like, okay, speaking of customized, example, if you customize your car to look like its own original thing, and then someone's like, oh yeah, that looks like a Chevy, how mad would you be? I did not pay thousands of dollars for this custom job on my car for you to tell me that it looks just like another Chevy model. Rude. So, there I go. Maybe that puts it in better understandings of where my mental state is coming from, because like, you buy all these clothes and you piece them together and you make this one outfit, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm sexy, nobody ever seen this before. Like, and this one's like, you know what, you look like insert subgenre here, and then you're just like, take it all off. Like, I find it so rude. I mean, sometimes it's informative and you're like, huh, and then you discover a new like genre that you can probably like fit yourself into, or find yourself agreeing with more. And that's sometimes the case, but a lot of times it's not. So nobody asked you, what do you think my style is? I didn't ask that. Nobody asked that. So I make it a point that whenever I ask, like, oh, what's your style? I actually listen and like see how they piece things together, how they work things out, because that's a timeline effect that's happening there. Like me, for example, Baby Bat Amorous wanted to be Victorian goth, and adult Amorous, or older Amorous, and even today adult Amorous is just looking at the Victorian goth like this. My bank account is down here, okay? I can't, we can't, okay? And then Baby Amherst was like, maybe we can make our own Victorian goth outfits. And then I was like, great, I already got sewing skills, I'm a certified seamstress, like, let's do this. Then I figured out why Victorian goth is so expensive. Good Victorian goth clothes are expensive because the fabric for that ish. I love Moods fabric store. I love going there. I love touching the fabrics and getting swatches and everything about it. I love running into Project Runway people and all that jazz, but $20 a yard is just too much sometimes. You need 6 yards to get any basic outfit, and that's like a little bit extra. Maybe you can slip by with 3 to 4. I usually buy 6 if I'm gonna do like one look with this fabric. I know I'm safe with 6 yards. So $20 a yard, ain't nobody got that. So I was just like, maybe I'll back off for a little. I'll back it up, back it up. So then I was like, Gothic Lolita is cute, and it's kind of like Victorian Goth, but just like the baby doll version of it, right? Same problem. Same problem. The Lolita world is a hard world, and I had to learn that the hard way, because if you're going to be in the Lolita world, you cannot be off-brand. Do not be off-brand. Sorry about that. The mailman came with the post. It wasn't for me, though. It's for my mom. She ordered stuff. Sadness. But yeah, if you're going to be on Lolita, you cannot be off-brand. Like, what? You'll get torn apart in the chat rooms. Okay, and not to mention, buying the latest brand and the latest print of anything that comes out is impossible unless you are in Japan. I can't read Japanese. I can't read kanji. I can't. I would eventually like to. I took one class and my brain turned to mush, and I didn't do that class again. I got a C. So yeah, no, it's pretty difficult to be Gothic Lolita. You really have to have some strength for that. I do not. I'm kind of chill and laid back. So after attempting Victorian Goth and then homemade DIY Victorian Goth and then Gothic Lolita, I was just like, you know what, man, we're just gonna go back to our basic elements. And I was just band t-shirt and jeans and kind of classic 80s to 90s goth with like the fishnets, plain black dress, leather jacket, and some demonias. And that was it for a really long time. And then I started getting into like my witchier elements, and it still kind of kept the 80s goth vibe, mixed in some gothabilly, and then bam. I mean, don't get me wrong, most days I still wear like t-shirts and leggings. Like today, my t-shirt says, "I'm here for the booze." Like, I don't know if it's showing. I don't know. Camera depth. I don't understand. My shirt's a little ghost, and it says "here for the booze" with a little wine glass in his hand. And I'm wearing like shorts in October. It's cold here now. But like that's basically my style. And I wouldn't know how to like put that into one like genre other than saying like shirt and leggings, shirt and shorts. Because I mean, I haven't really found one title to proclaim it other than Amherst Wears. So if you come at me in the comments or wherever in the streets ever and you're like, "Oh, look, she's obviously Gothabilly," I'm gonna stop you right there. Because I might be Gothabilly today. Or I could be not Gothabilly that day, and I could just look at you like, what are you talking about? Have you ever seen a Gothabilly before? Because this ain't it. But you can most definitely guarantee that that's not what I'm going to say that my style is with. I often feel like I change depending on the day. Like I wake up and I'm like, I'm in a real witchy mood today. And I'll wear like wispy sleeves and shawls and whatever. And other days I'll be like, I'm feeling like club sexy. So I'll go to like Susie and the Banshees, like 80s, late 90s goth kind of look. But on a day-to-day basis, I am profoundly in t-shirt and pants because I don't have any blouses, so I can't really wear blouses. I mostly just have dresses, and my dresses vary from simple, everyday kind of dresses to club-specific wear. So, I mean, there's really no identifying me. I don't know. You can try, I can try, we can all try. But bottom line is, if you ask somebody what their style is and they're taking the time out to explain it to you, do not, I repeat, do not, especially if this person is not like a close friend of yours, do not come at them and be like, oh, that sounds just like insert subgenre here, or oh, I always pegged you as insert subgenre here. That is rude. I cannot stress that enough. Like, I feel like it's so rude. I do. I really do. So yeah, I can't really stress that enough. I don't know. Maybe somebody's like out there thinking like, doesn't matter. Or, oh, that's really petty of you. I'm a really petty person. So I'm sorry. I know a lot of people who are actually pretty petty. Most of the people I know are actually pretty petty. We're just a groupling of petty people. But, at the end of the day, you never really know who makes a big deal out of something and who doesn't. So I feel like you should always just be a little bit aware of what you're saying and how that might affect another person. That's just a general rule of thumb. But then again, you know, common sense really isn't common, so I try not to get too upset when things like this happen to me. Let me know if something like that has ever happened to you and how you reacted to that question, and how the other person reacted to your answer to said question. um, just, I don't really know. How do you think those type of questions should be asked slash answered? Let me know in the comments below, and give this video a thumbs up if you like these types of question and answer videos and reaction videos or whatever. Um, I'll see you around. Hopefully, maybe something might happen. I'm gonna try. We're gonna try. Okay. Bye. See you next time.